Thanksgiving Day. What an incredible flood of memories it brings every one of us. I think that of any day here when I have missed my couch more, it's today. Thanksgiving weekend has always been a time to relax, eat turkey, watch football, send the wife shopping, and begin the annual ritual of putting up Christmas decorations. But my favorite tradition of all is watching the University of Texas Longhorns pummel the hapless Aggies in their annual match. But this year, however, will be a little bit different. There's no couch, there's no shopping malls, and there's less comfort than at home. We are here together at Balad Air Base in Iraq, thinking about home. We have heard this morning about a different Thanksgiving celebration than most of us are used to enjoying. But I submit that for many here, this is the first Thanksgiving we have ever celebrated where we have so much in common with those early pilgrims. The pilgrims traveled from home to a distant land. Originally, these English separatists lived in the town of Leyden, Holland. They'd gone there to flee religious persecution in England. Despite toleration by the government there, these religious people decided that the best thing to do for their children and their children's children would be to journey to a new home in a new world and establish a new way of life. Upon arrival, they faced great hardship. Over the first winter, close to half of their number perished from cold and starvation and disease. These loved ones would be buried near the colony church house, which also served as their town hall. The feast itself would take place near the graveyard filled with friends and family. And yet, these surviving pilgrims would be able to thank God for his providential care over their lives. Interestingly, around 90 Native Americans joined this feast of celebration and Thanksgiving. Remarkably, at the end, they didn't want to leave. A unique friendship and cooperation developed between these two peoples. And out of these meager beginnings, a new nation would eventually be born out of the 13 original colonies. Now, we too have journeyed from our homes to a far and distant land. We are not simply here for ourselves, but for the Iraqi people. Our hope is that what we do here will mean something to the children and the grandchildren of present-day Iraqi citizens. Much like the pilgrims, we have faced great hardship. Many of our comrades have been wounded, and some 2,000 Americans have given their lives for Operation Iraqi Freedom. We have watched flag-draped coffins loaded onto planes and seen cordons of tearful soldiers, sailors, Marines, airmen, and civilians honor our fallen comrades. And still, we can thank God. We can thank God because we are here contributing to something larger than ourselves. 10 years after the Plymouth colony was founded, a Puritan, John Winthrop, journeyed across the stormy Atlantic to settle in the Massachusetts Bay Colony. And he wrote in his diary, "For this end we must be knit together. We must entertain each other in brotherly affection. We must be willing to give up our superfluities to supply others' necessities. We must delight in each other, make others' conditions our own, rejoice together, mourn together, labor and suffer together. So shall we keep the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace. The Lord will be our God, and make us a praise and a glory that men shall say of later plantations, may the Lord make it like that of New England. Now, what Winthrop and the Pilgrims sought to do was build a great society which would promote peace, justice, and hope for the world. We all are here in fulfillment of that mission. During this deployment, we have witnessed transforming history in a region of the world which has only known tyranny and dictatorship. Our very presence has allowed the seed of liberty, freedom, and justice to be planted for the Iraqi people. We ourselves might not see the seed grow into a tall and mighty tree, but neither did Winthrop nor the Pilgrims. In fact, our mission here is the fruition of their dreams, their hopes, and their prayers. And for that, we can all be thankful. We can also be thankful that we are contributing to the larger war on terrorism, which rocked our own nation 4 years ago. The first Sunday many of us were here at Balad was the 4th anniversary of those deadly attacks in New York City, Washington, D.C., and a Pennsylvania field. Each day we are deployed brings the fight to the enemy and away from our homes and our families. We are thankful that our nation has not experienced what many other nations are experiencing this very day. We are thankful that our presence here stands as a shield of protection, not only for ourselves, but for the Iraqi people. Before my deployment here, I had the opportunity to view past editions of the Red Tail Flyer on the internet. In one edition, I saw photographs of a humanitarian mission that the chapel had sponsored to a local school. And when I saw the pictures of teachers and children holding several of the items which were given to them, I realized then, before I even got here, that our mission could already be deemed a success. Due to our efforts, children across this nation could now learn more than they ever could have dreamed before. By providing a shield of protection, whether through piloting an F-16 or a Predator, flying a helicopter, guarding a convoy, maintaining aircraft, guarding a gate, working on legal issues, commanding a squadron or a group, fixing the AFN or the broken internet, or passing out slushies at a rec tent. We are giving these people a chance, and that is what we can be thankful for. Now, I could count on one more thing to be thankful for in conclusion, and that's the memories I'm forging of being here at Balad. Soon, many of us will begin out processing, can you believe it? And returning back to our lives, to an active duty base, or, like myself, to a civilian job. Next year's Thanksgiving will be here before we know it, and there we'll be, stretched out on our couch, stuffing our faces with turkey and stuffing, and watching the Longhorns pummel the Aggies again. But I'm sure that my thoughts will flood once more again to this place. I'm sure I will smile as I recall the DFAC, the gravel, the Cadillacs, my IBA, the burn dump, Chief Clark, and all those reflective belts that we've been wearing. I'll also remember something that my father told my mother a long time ago. After 32 years of service in the Army Air Corps and the Air Force, my dad volunteered for 2 year-long tours to Vietnam as an ammo troop. He told my mother that the reason he did so was that his sons would not have to go. My father hoped for a better future. We here do not know what the course of our future will hold for ourselves or for the Iraqi people, but we can know that we all did our part to try to make the world a better place, not just for ourselves, and not just for our families, but for all of humanity. Very few people and nations could ever imagine attempting to accomplish what we are here doing on a daily basis. Today, we can be thankful for our mission, our nation, our president, our commanders, our families, our friends, and for our God. May He truly bless our nation, our cause, and may His providential grace extend throughout the earth. Amen and amen.